Okay, so what's up, social media? All right, so it seems somebody gave me a question. I guess it's probably general conversation. We're kind of talking about marriage and being with someone, and the question is, how do you know? Is how do you know when a person is the one? And the only answer I have for that is that you don't. Is no answer for that question, at least not one that would go, straight across the board for every single person. Thing I can say is that you have to look at how a person treats you, and you also have to look at how a person treats other people, because how a person treats you and other people determines what's inside that person. So you like there is no answer that goes straight across the board, but I will offer this. Look at a person's lifestyle, ask questions. You will never really know a person completely because people change every day. I mean, if you get down deep into it, we talking about chemical reactions inside the body, especially men dealing with women. You can have that time of the month where a woman may be a little bit more emotional than she is, or just depends on the person's lifestyle and how they grew up, period. So you have to know a person's baggage. Are you able to deal with that person's, look at, the old people used to say, look at how they chew their hamburger, or in other words, they're saying that your pet peeves is that you can't stand the person that smacks and lick their fingers, and you go out to dinner with this person and they smacking and licking their fingers. You have to decide whether that's a deal breaker for you. So, I mean, like I said, man, there is no answer that goes straight across the board. I once read that a woman should be so lost in God that the only way a man can find her is by seeking Him. So, I mean, like I said, there is no answer straight across the board. I've known people that have known each other for, years and years and years, get married and then get a divorce. And then I've heard of people who knew each other for a month or two, like my wife and I did, and got married, and they got married and was together forever. I mean, until death do you part. I mean, but just know that once you say those vows, man, that's basically. I mean, and I say that's it, and it may not necessarily be it, but when you allow the possibility of divorce to even creep into your mind, then your marriage has already failed. So for me, this is it. I mean, there is no. I feel like the only thing that can't be worked out is infidelity. So a person committing adultery, for those who don't know what infidelity is, and unfaithful. But because I know how I'm willing to treat my wife, and I know how my wife treats me, and I love her for that. One reasons why in our relationship, why I felt so strongly about marrying her, because she's very considerate. And just a little secret about men, we're children. So if you didn't know, a man is basically a grown child, then know that bit of information, then basically you've already lost the battle. But men are going to be men, but we're also big children. Being considerate to our feelings is very, very, very important. They say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, and that's quite true. Quite true as well, especially for me, because I love to eat. But being considerate to me, considering my feelings, is very, very big part of why I chose to marry my wife, because she is very considerate. Not to mention she's emotional herself. Granted, she has a certain level of empathy, meaning that she kind of feels, how I feel, and she considers the people. So, but the question, how do you know you have the one? I mean, you don't. Basically, you have to basically just know what you're willing to work on, know what you're willing to put up with, and know your limit, man. So You know, you'll never really know a person completely, and I'm not saying go out and marry the first stranger that you meet, but you have to, put time. It doesn't take much time, man. You look at a person's family, you look at them, you look at their history, how they treat people. I mean, ask questions, man. You have to know and apply for jobs, and we have to fill out applications, resumes, they will do background checks, drug tests on us and everything. And get a mate, we don't ask for none of that. We just, hey, look, he look good, she look good, let's be together. Relationships should go far beyond looks. Of course, I'm a firm believer that I can't be with anybody that I ain't attracted to, physically. At the same time, it has to go deeper than that, because a bad attitude will make the most beautiful woman in the world ugly. Of course, that's my opinion. That's the way I look at it. But I can't stand a woman that's selfish. I can't stand a woman that's self-centered. I can't stand a woman that's mean. A woman that's stuck up. You speak to them and they and act like you just asked them for their number when all you did was say, "Hey, good morning." Attitudes like that, man, is a total turn off to me. Of course, I ain't got to worry about that no more, because I have a very beautiful wife. She's beautiful both outside and inside, and that she's very, very, very considerate of my feelings, and that's one of the things that I need in my life for a woman that is able to deal with me. That's the end of this Q&A. If you have any questions, send them to me, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Of course, like I said, question, I am going to answer it in video on social media, so just be prepared for it. Now, I don't have to say your name. It can be totally anonymous. But, so, that's just one of the things. But anyway, people, social media, till next time, you already know who it is.